You met Charlie Kirk back in 2017, really in your early formative years in your political involvement. You were, what, 13 at the time?
14, yes, ma'am.
14. This must have come as a terrible shock yesterday.
It was, and it really is surreal for not just myself, but for a lot of young people who knew Charlie Kirk, not personally, but he lived in our phones. He lived on our TikTok, our Instagram, our social media. Whether you agreed with him or not, you saw his videos. They really challenged you to think about a lot of these serious issues, and so it's surreal. It's very shocking. I know a lot of people who are taking it very difficult, just because they feel like this is someone that they know.
Talk about the power that he had in reaching people that both loved him and hated him.
I mean, I think the power and the influence was evident just yesterday. I mean, people who I know are not political at all were asking me, "Oh my gosh, did you see the news about Charlie Kirk?" They were reposting things on social media, even if they didn't agree with him. His influence, it was far-reaching. I think that people felt like they could have and they could engage in those difficult conversations with one another, seeing not just Charlie Kirk, but the people that came after him that did similar things to him, of going on college campuses and having these debates. And so his influence was so far-reaching, not just with him, but also the organization that he created, Turning Point.
As someone who is trying to speak to more young people, who is trying to get a message across, does it concern you to now go out into a public space or into a public square on a college campus and share these ideas, some of which are controversial and do spark fierce debate?
Yeah, the escalation is concerning. I think it stems from an inability to really engage in those conversations without it devolving into insults and personal attacks and things of that nature. And so I would like to see us as a society return to a point where we can actually engage in those conversations without having to worry, am I going to be physically harmed because I'm expressing an idea that some people may disagree with. And so I think there's an obligation on all of us to really pause and think about our words and the impact that they can have, and also tone down the temperature just a little bit. And I think that's a responsibility that we all have as leaders in politics.
Will you be a bit more fearful or have heightened anxiety the next time you go out and try to talk to folks?
I think one thing that I've taken away from this is that I don't believe Charlie Kirk would want anyone to retreat because of this incident. So I think that we can be more mindful about our language without compromising on our ideals. So I'm going to be just as bold, just as firm in my convictions and my beliefs, and I will speak out about them. But I will do it in a way that is respectful and that understands where the other side is coming from. But I'm not more fearful. I'm fearful for our society, but it's not going to prevent me from speaking out about my convictions.
Cutler Bryant, really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.